The story takes place in 1995. I was about to deliver my daughter by normal delivery and the procedure lasted 2 hours. The doctor did not recommend to give me a cesarean section. The risk of bleeding to death was also high due to my lack of platelets. It didn't take long for my daughter to be born. She was very healthy. But I had nosebleeds all the time, and the doctor came every hour to take blood samples. I knew I was very sick. But I was also very lucky to be with my newborn daughter. I was still able to breastfeed her. During the night, I sat up in bed with a pillow supporting my back, having just finished feeding my daughter and putting her back in her crib. I felt very weak and uncomfortable. I knew if I laid down I would die. I felt so exhausted that I tried everything to stay in a sitting or standing position. I couldn't hold on any longer and I lay down on my back. Then I died in peace. My soul left my body and I floated under the ceiling of the hospital room while my body was still in bed, and my daughter was still sleeping in her crib. I left the room, leaving my body behind, and after I left the hospital, I came to a tunnel where it was very nice and peaceful. It felt very good. I saw a light in the distance. It was getting closer and closer. Then I was surrounded by this light. I saw a being glowing with light. I felt like I had known him all along. He reminisced about my life. He made no comment about me. We observed all of this and we communicated telepathically. In looking back on my life, even though it was difficult, there were many tears and loneliness. But there were also many smiles and joys. I spent my childhood with my grandparents, where I had a happy childhood. I also saw a lot of slices of life, and through that, I understood a lot of things. To treat the people and things around you with a grateful heart. Be as kind to others as you can, and being kind to others is actually being kind to yourself. Never lie. To stay happy in life. I had a hearing loss before. But here, I have no problems with my hearing. I can hear beautiful music. I only need telepathy to talk to him. He tells me that I will divorce my husband later because we both have other things to do and that I should look at it as a joyful thing, and that divorce will bring me joy and freedom, but none of that has happened yet. He told me that I should forgive my husband for his behavior and attitude and move on with my life, even though he hurt me. He also told me that I would have many pleasant experiences and that I would accomplish my goals. He also told me that I should take care of myself and have healthy habits. If I did this, I would accomplish my life goals ahead of schedule. After showing me my future life, he showed me a very beautiful place where we walked together. All the colors were so beautiful, as if everything was alive. A group of spirits came to me and I recognized some of them as my relatives and friends who had passed away. 4 of my grandparents were there. They smiled and welcomed me. They hugged me and they told me how happy they were to see me. I also saw several friends who had passed away and they all came to greet me. They reminded me that I had to go back and that my time was not up yet. They all looked healthy and some of them looked at least 20 years younger. I felt amazing and suddenly, a young person stood in front of me and I knew she was my newborn daughter. She stared at me and said, "Mom, you promised me that you would be my mother in this life." Then, I returned to my body. I felt overwhelmed with pain. When I left the hospital, the doctor told me, We all thought we would lose you. But you came back miraculously." They had nothing better to do than pray to God.